Hello, I'm Dara, and welcome to my beef farm. It's Monday morning, and it's the start of a new week, and it's fantastic to see the sun back out again after a very rough weekend following on from Storm Amy. So I'm just down in the fields here, and I'm going to get in the dairy beef heifers, Angus's and Herefords, and I'm going to pick a blast of them out to go into the shed for winter finishing. And that's under, I think I'm going to use about 460 as my cut off, and anything under that then we'll go back to grass. So we'll get them on up to the yard here now and we'll go through them. Go on. Up. The suckler cows are also in as well behind me here. They were also brought in due to the storm and just wanted to protect the ground. You run through too much grass with a bunch of sucklers out in wet weather, so I put them in. I have a job to do with the weanings, and I'll show you that after I get these lads organised behind me. Come on, up, up, up. Come on, up, up, up. Come on. On you go, on you go, on you go. Bit of a mixed bag along there now, so we'll see what we can get out. I wouldn't say we'll get too many out of this. Definitely the last two anyway. We'll go back to grass, they're a bit light. She's going in. She's going in. She gained since the last day. What? She's been gaining a kilo a day since the last day. Oh yeah. In her heat, 464 kilos. Back to grass. 477. I've gone through all the heifers and 11 are going back to grass. They're under 460 kilos. So they're probably from about 400 to 460. So they'll go back to grass, and there's no hurry with those heifers. They're too light to be doing anything with them feeding wise. So they can go back out now for as long as the weather will allow. And they'd be kind of January, maybe early February heifers for the factory. 100, they have 100 kilos to put on between now and then, which is kind of doable anyway there. So we'll get them back to the field, and then we go through the other ones and get them into the shed. That's the heifers we left back now. They're gone back to grass. There's 11 of them there, and they're nice looking heifers when they're out on their own, but they have smashing grass underneath them. Heads are down straight away. They were due a move this morning, so it's grand to bring them in when they're due a move there. It's easy to get them in, so they'll have all that ahead of them there. There's been great growth here on the farm even over the last few days, and ground has held up considerably well after Storm Amy. You know, we've got a lot of rain here, but ground is still firm, so they'll tip along better. And the fact that there's so many gone out of it now, there's 21 gone out of it, and they'll thrive on now. They'll have the best grass to themselves, and there's less competition for grass. So hopefully when I bring these heifers in, they'll be another 20 or 30 kilos heavier than they were today. These are the heifers that are going into the shed. Nothing in this group is under 465 kilos. I was saying 460 was my cut off, but they weighed well now. So there's 18 of them there going into fill a pen. So Christmas week now would be my target for them. So I'll get them into the shed now and get them fed and get on to the next job. On you go. On you go. Go on. Yep. Go on. Go on. Shh. These things in my hand. Has any sucker farmer on here used these, or how did you get on with them? Were you happy, unhappy? So what are they, for anyone who doesn't know? They're called Weaning. So they're nose paddles. So they go in the calf's nose like that, and the calf can't suck the cow, so he can't flick him out of the way, and he can't get his tongue underneath them or over him. So you put these in their nose, because they can't suck the cows. It breaks the bond. So I think I have to leave these in for 5 or 7 days and bring them in then again, and separate the cows and calves. And it's supposed to be a stress-free way of weaning the calves off the cows. Now, I've never used them before. This is my first time going to try them, because my dad was reading about them one day on the paper, and he said to me, maybe we should try them. So I went and I bought a come in a packet of 25, so I bought 25 of them. So I'm going to put in 25 into the strongest calves today and try them out anyway. I'd say there'll be a bit of wrestling now to get them in. They're fairly rigid, like, so I'm just after starting to separate the cows and calves there now at the moment. And I was actually going to put the cows and calves with the nose paddles and leave them in the shed. But I went out to set up a paddock for the cows I was going to let out. And after driving around, there's an awful lot of grass out there. So I'm going to let them all back out again and get some of that grass eaten off there. If I was to wean the cows and put them in and leave them in, I think I wouldn't get the farm grazed because there's so much grass there. Inevitably, it's going to get too wet, so you're going to be left with a heap of grass trying to plough through it. So I'd rather have the farm skinned off there and grazed and grown again for next year. And if the weather comes bad, well, everything will go where they need to go, and that's into the shed. Because at the end of the day, come to the 1st of November, it's winter time, so it's time for the shed. So I'll get going at these now, and we'll see how we'll get on putting them in. Did I hear you? Now there's a bundle of calves with their new jewellery in their nose. Sure, it's all the rage now anyway. Nose piercing, so hopefully they'll be a good job now. The time will tell. Some really strong Weanings on that now. Super calf there, 400 kilos. So it was actually a lot easier putting those nose paddles than I thought it would now. I thought they'd be very hard to put in. So yeah, that's it. We'll let them off and see how we get on. I've the cows and calves gone back out to the field now. The paddles are in the noses there, as you can see. So it'll be interesting to see how they get on. If you've used them, maybe you'd let me know down in the comments how you got on with them. Were you happy with them, unhappy with them? You know, there's no there. It'd be nice to know what other people's opinion is of them. The cows are going to do a bit of walking now. They're just out. They've been in now for the last 3 days. As I said, the ground is after drying out there nicely. Great grass there on that paddock now, as you can see. And may as well graze off that grass now, because putting in the cows now and leaving that grind of grass behind, the Weanings wouldn't be able to get around on it. I'm out in the paddock that I reseeded this year in May. I did a video on it. But this is where the cows are coming next, and there's serious grass on it. There's good growth. The growth is still going well there now. But in the last week now, even grass is really after bulking out. I don't know if how well the camera can pick that up, but really good grass there. Good clover. I'd say there's about a cover of 2,000 on it, in and around that there, for whoever was measuring grass. That's my guesstimate now. I didn't measure it, but that's where the cows are coming next, and it'd be nice to get that grazed off, and then we'll get that closed up for the winter. So this will be an early paddock for the winter, fairly good and dry underfoot, and so we'll have this grazed off by the 15th of November, and then we'll be growing grass in for next spring, to have early grass then for cows when they calve, and then they'll come over here, nice sheltery field, have roadways to it, so if we have to do on off grazing, we'll be able to do it. So that's I suppose we're thinking about next year already, even though this year's not over yet. So the next day I'm just down checking the cows to see how these nose paddles are going. Just have a calf in front of me here. I'll give you a look at him. See, she has the milk anyway. He's in there. He's trying his best. He can't suck her. He's a fine big calf anyway. Time for him to be coming off her. It's the same here. That big fella, all he can do is kind of get a lick out there, but stopping him as well. That cow hasn't a whole lot of milk anyway. She's after rearing some lump of calf. Here's another one. Said I've never used these paddles before. This is my first time, so I'm kind of tickled looking at them now. Trying to suck and they can't suck, and how long more they'll keep doing that for, I don't know. See, has this Belgian blue mastered it either? No. Her mother still has a little bit of milk there. Actually, you can see the cows have very little milk now anyway. Time for them to be coming off the calves. This video will be online before these paddles are taken out, so maybe the next video, I don't know what the next video will be, but maybe the next video there I'll just give an update as to how we got on with them. So just for anyone who hasn't seen these before, and I haven't seen these before either, it doesn't affect the calves grazing, and it doesn't affect them eating meal or drinking water. It only stops them from sucking the cow because they can't get their tongue in, or they can't lift up the paddle out of the way. Apparently an odd smart calf can do it there, but as you can see, that calf is sitting down there, he's back chewing, he's happy out, and the other fella is eating away at grass. So there's supposed to be a higher welfare way of weaning calves, and if they are, well, I'm happy to use them here. I thought they'd be a lot harder to get in and a lot more hassle to get in, and but they were easy enough, so happy days. These black limousine heifers were ones I bought as calves, and they were running with the dairy beef heifers, the Herefords and Anguses, and I've decided I'm going to serve these heifers to AI and calf them down with the rest of those cows that didn't go on calf for me there. So So this will bring the group up to 13. Look, I said I'd try them anyway. I think they're nice, square, honest heifers. I'd say they're good R rating heifers. And I'm not 100% sure what bulls they're by. I have to go check them up. I don't know what stars they are, but you're knowing that they're Ulster Friesians, they're probably 5 stars anyway. So I had more of these heifers, but these ones are the nicest of them. I just picked them out by eye and weight, and the other ones didn't make the cut there. I'm going to get them scanned by the vet, and just to make sure that everything is okay, and so we'll get them served in and get them into calf. So at least I know by scanning them that everything is 100% then, and they should come bulling, and there'll be no if buts or maybe in 6 weeks or 8 weeks time when I scan and they're empty. So we'll kind of be more proactive this time and be kind of ahead of myself again. These are the cows that scanned empty on the scan I did there in July. For anyone who's new to the channel, I ran the cows this year in 2 groups, an AI group and a small group with the stock bull. The stock bull broke his rod and I ended up with around 9 cows empty on his group. So I have them in the yard here. I'm waiting for the vet to come. I'm going to do a pre-breeding scan on them, and I'm going to put them all back in calf and calf them next August. She's probably the oldest cow on it. She's a 5th calfer, but she's an old pet. She has a good calf every year. She's worth another shot. And the likes of that one now is a second calfer over there. There's 2 first calfers, and then there's that cow there is a 3rd calfer, and she has a super calf. Now she was on the AI group, but like he's a monster calf, so she's definitely worth giving another shot. So the reason I want to do a pre-breeding scan is they were all bulling. I've seen them all bulling, except for that blue over at the gate. I haven't seen her bulling. So I really want to get her checked out to see what she missed on the other scan. Is she in calf, or has she a cyst, or has she some other reason why she's not coming bulling? Now I've seen all the other cows bulling since we scanned, but they've kind of stopped bulling for the last month. So I don't know where they are in their cycle. So I want to get the vet just to see exactly what's happening and get all these cows in calf and hopefully have them all pretty tight for when they calf down next August. Now the vet has been here and has scanned the cows, and we've had a lovely surprise in that cow in there is actually in calf, due to calf in the spring. So she must have been just served by the bull, and maybe the bull broke his rod actually serving her, but she was scanned empty in the last scan. So she's 100 days in calf, carrying the bull calf, which is great. I had another heifer there, this one here, the yellow one. The bull calves have been rising on her there the whole summer, and I thought she had lost her embryo and that she was empty, but thankfully now she is still in calf. So they're just, she's a nice one, they're just like being after her. The heifer there with the purple tail paint has actually been bulling today, so I've served her. And there's another limousine heifer there, and I've also served her. And actually wasn't much activity with either of them. They were in 2 separate groups up until I put them together, and now that they're together they've started palling up together and have rised on each other. So it's great. Now I have 2 served. So I had to put seeders in 4 cows. A big one there to get a seeder, and 3 more. Just wasn't enough activity there that estromesh wouldn't have brought in bulling. So everything else then we gave them estromesh, and estromesh is just a hormone, estrogen, and that's just to bring the cows around bulling. They're probably kind of midway through their cycle, so that'll bring them bulling, and I'll be able to have them all served in a short space of time. Not to drag the thing out, I'd like to get these calved within 3 weeks if I could, but we'll see how that goes. But the main thing is Thursday or Friday I should have about 6 of these on bulling, and that'll be 8 out of the 12 serves. So that's that group anyway, and that's what we're at the moment. So I'll leave the video at that. I hope you enjoyed this stock video, and we'll see you in the next one. And thanks for watching.